computer. All right, it's recording. Good. All right, so I'm going to go really slow. I am going to pay attention to the chat. I am going to, if you want to put a hand up, any of that kind of stuff, please do. I can't promise you, I mean, I can promise you this. You will not fix your mistakes. It's almost impossible in Photoshop without like a couple of lessons, and I can't get through all those lessons without making a mistake. So as you first start going, like especially today's, we're gonna go stupidly slow. I'm sorry. I will apologize right off the bat. But if something doesn't work, we're gonna work around it. Okay. First up, downloads in Finder is the Kayak. Now, I want you to get used to doing things the way I want you to do. And the reason for it is it will all make sense later on when we start to do cooler stuff. Whenever you're dragging into Photoshop, drag it from Finder onto the dock, and you'll get better at this and it's easier. So just drag it right down, right from Finder, right onto the little PS on the bottom of your dock. I'm gonna wait a second. If anybody, you can put in the chat, like wait for me, or I'm not there yet, or anything at any moment, please. So literally anybody. Okay, awesome, thank you. So what I did, I took Finder, which is the little blue guy on the bottom left. I went to downloads. I found the Kayak that I downloaded from Schoology in the Photoshop folder, and I dragged it down onto the dock. All right, I'm gonna move on. Everybody good? Command button is the button located next to the space bar. I want you to press Command and hold it down and press the plus button to zoom in. Command and plus. Command and minus are going to subtract, or zoom out, not subtract, zoom out. Command plus, Command minus. Get used to it. That is the only way that I want you to zoom in and zoom out. And again, anytime during this lesson that you feel that I'm going too fast, please ask for help. In the chat, raising a hand, using a microphone, I don't care. Everybody can zoom in and out. Next, Command plus, zoom in. Next, I want you to hold down the space bar on your keyboard. You will notice there is a hand on your screen. If you hold down the space bar, you get a hand. This is how I want you to move around. I know some of you know how to do this. Don't do that. You'll get used to it. This is a better way to do it. This is the only way you're going to operate Photoshop. If you have to do this thing where you, I'm going to move up and I'm going to move over and I'm going to move, oh my God, this takes forever. Space bar on your camera, on your keyboard, hold it down, move it around. Is anybody not, please put it in the chat or use the microphone or raise your hand. Anybody not able to zoom in, zoom out, and move around? Going once, going twice. Next, in Photoshop, window. On top of your screen, you're going to see the word window. You are going to need the layers window. If it has a check mark, it is somewhere on your screen. On my screen, it's here. On your screen, it might be actually buried in some, or down the bottom or somewhere else. Okay, but we will need the layers window. Under window, again, if there's a check mark, it's already on your screen. If you notice there's no check mark, it is not on your screen. We will be using tools. Make sure that has a check mark. So layers, tools, and history. Again, we are going to be using layers, tools, and history. Anybody having a problem getting any of those windows up on their screen?
After I downloaded Photoshop, I can't find it in my computer. Where would it be at?
Downloads. I don't know. Did you follow the directions in the Google Doc?
Yeah, I did.
What does it say to do next?
Hold on, let me get it back up real quick.
So you installed it.
Yeah.
You said
And
allow.
it says click OK to access your files, but I can't do that because I can't find the Adobe Flash or Photoshop.
Any other students who installed it? Can you help at all? What did you have to do? So you went to application, Colton, you went to applications, right?
Yeah,
And you went to the Creative Cloud and it's not there.
yeah.
So you went here and here and you don't have Creative Cloud.
Oh, can you do that one more time?
Finders, the blue guy on the bottom left.
Yeah.
Applications is on the left, on the sidebar.
Yep.
Then it should be the first one. Adobe Creative Cloud.
Yeah, I have the Creative Club, and then I downloaded or I installed Photoshop, and then when I click Photoshop, hold on, I think I got it. I got it now. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So everybody have the windows open and are you ready to go? Now in the toolbar, that's the toolbar. That's again, window tools if you don't have it. I do not like, does it change it for, this is a brand new version. Every version of Photoshop, they change things. Is it a single column or a double column? Do you guys have a single column like this or double column? Okay, so you see the little two arrows to the right, hit that, you'll get a double column. It is a lot easier to use. It's bigger, it's easier to see. I just like it better. You don't have to do that, but it just does make life easier. Okay. Anybody need more time? Colton, are we kind of caught up or not?
Yeah, I'm good.
Awesome. I'm recording the lesson too anyway. So, all right. What we're going to do now, listen to me very, very, very carefully. If at any moment you screw up, please ask for help. I cannot stress this enough because it's going to get hard from now on. What we want to do is we want to select stuff in this program so we can do things to it, okay? And we are going to start, I'm going to zoom out to see the whole entire kayak. I want to see the kayak, most of the picture right now. So zoom out to see most of it at least, if not all of it. It will make life a little bit easier. All right. We are going to hold the mouse button down or the trackpad, hold that second tool down on the right-hand side. You will notice three tools: object selection, quick selection, and magic wand. Now it's been, the newest one is object selection and it's quite cool. The problem is it fails. It's newer. I want you to grab the quick selection tool. So hold the mouse button down on that second tool on the right hand side. Again, in the chat, you can raise hands or use microphones if you ever get stuck. Next, you are going to see a circle on your screen. Find the bracket keys next to the P key and make that circle bigger or smaller. Do not go crazy. That will not work. Okay, make the circle around that size. The bracket keys are next to the P as in popcorn key. Everybody good? Everybody need me to slow down? All right, next, don't do this. What I want you to do is I want you to do it after I'm done. I'll tell you, now go ahead, okay? So I'm gonna do something. I want you to watch it first. Try not to do it with me. It'll make more sense because I'll go through instructions as I'm doing it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold my mouse button down. You're gonna get marching ants. I'm still holding the mouse button down and I'm moving my mouse around. And I'm going to try to get most of the kayak into the marching ants. However, if I move my mouse too far out, it will capture that water. So then I'll do Command and D as D selects, the marching ants are gone, and I'm going to try it again. Go ahead and try it now. Try to get most of the kayak in the marching ants. If you get too much or want to try it again, Command and D as in dog. Command D. Anybody need more time? Going once, going twice. Command plus to zoom in. Please zoom in next to these ropes on the kayak's top side. Zoom in to the ropes. Command plus to zoom in. Again, spacebar. If you need to move around, spacebar is really awesome. Just hold down the spacebar, click and move till you're where you want. Now, it's going to get really, really hard in 1 minute. So I want you to really pay attention to it, okay? If you screw up anything from a single, like I clicked on the wrong tool, to I clicked in the wrong spot, to I didn't hold the button down, it will not work. So I want to, before we do that, I want to show you this history. Again, that was window, history. In the history window, it literally is going to show me what I did. I opened the file, I hit quick selection, I hit deselect, I did another quick selection, I did another one. This is how you go backwards in time. Now, I think in 2021, the undo does work now. Every version before this, the undo did not work. There was a reason for that, but I am just being aware of it. I think this version now in 2021 version does actually allow you to undo multiple states, but last year's version did not let you, and that's why I want to make sure we're clear on this. Okay, if anything goes wrong, please put it in the chat. Please raise your hand or turn on a microphone and say, hey, went wrong, so I can help everybody, okay? Now, again, watch before I do. Actually, you guys can all do this first. On the second tool down on the left-hand side are the lasso tools. Hold that down. Do not ever, 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 ever. I wish they would literally get rid of this tool. It's the dumbest tool ever, and it's still on top, which just pisses me off. Polygon lasso tool is fantastic. Okay, this tool is really stupid. I'll show you what it does. It just allows you to draw whatever you want, and then it selects it, which is yay, but not awesome. The polygon lasso, watch first, don't do, watch. If I click without doing anything, my marching ants go away. Everybody see that? So I hold down escape, or I just click on escape. The escape key is top left key on the keyboard. I need to do one thing first. And I wish I could zoom in. I really wish. Don't ask. No. Okay. So if I hold down shift, I get a plus button on here. And this is where it gets hard. You have to hold the shift button down and then click. And now you see it. Now I want everybody to try it. Grab the polygon lasso. I want you to hold down shift, click, and see if you get a rubber band. If you do not get a rubber band, hit escape. Then would you please either use the microphone, chat, or some way to tell me that you are all good. Everybody have marching ants and a rubber band. You can let go of the shift button. Anybody still there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so everybody has marching ants and a rubber band.
Yes.
Awesome, cool, okay. Now, do you notice I am not, everybody see my hands? I am not touching my mouse, I'm not touching the keyboard. Once you click, you do not need to hold down shift. Now watch, don't do, watch, don't do. Click, 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 click. Everybody understand what I'm doing? And don't do it yet. Everybody understand it? I'm watching the chat too. Okay, now I am not going to go around the whole boat. The reason being is if you go around the whole boat, if you make a mistake halfway around the boat, you're going to have to do it all over again. I am adding on. I'm going inside the boat here, back to where I began, and I'm doing one small piece. Everybody go ahead and try it. Anybody need me to slow down? Explain something. Do it again. Okay, I'm going to move on. Now, sometimes you're going to get these little pockets in here where there are marching ants, and you're going to be like, dude, I don't want marching ants. And you're going to say, it's going to get confusing to your brain. If this is part of the boat and you want it, you are going to hold down shift and you are going to go right around that pocket and it is going to add that in. Now, that's water. I don't want the water. This is where it's going to get crazy. Hold down Option button. I make a click. No, just watch. Don't do. Now you can let go. Look at my hands. I am not, okay, not touching the mouse, not touching the keyboard. I hold down the Option button to start it though, so that those marching ants don't disappear. And I go around and I don't want that piece of water. Try to do one with the Option button. Again, Option means minus. I don't want. Shift means I want. And don't think about marching ants. Is it part of the boat or not? And you are going to go around these areas and try to capture the boat. Please raise your hand, put it in the chat, or turn the microphone on if you are stuck on any part of this. If your marching ants look like garbage, if they disappeared, if anything went wrong, ask for help. Okay. You do not, underneath this tool, Kelly, you do not have the polygon, you only have magnetic and lasso. Go to Window, Workspace, and do Essentials Default. This is what I mean for everybody, guys. I have way more experience. I can help you with a lot of issues. Kelly, did that work? It did not work. Okay, why don't you go try doing graphics and web. And now the last will be on the right-hand side. Nope, that does not work. Let's do photography. Okay, I will do the option thing. Kelly, did that work? Did you find it? I did. I went to Window Workspace and I did photography and that worked. Awesome, cool. All right, watch, everybody watch. It's crazy, 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 crazy. Okay, let's say that I have a piece of water in my selection by accident, okay? And I don't want the water. Option first. Remember, I want option, hold it down, click till you get a rubber band. Then you can let go. Then I'm going to go all the way around. And I can go all the way here because I don't really care. Now, here's the thing. It's really hard to find back where I began. You can double click. I am going to slowly make my way around the boat, doing small sections. I'm holding shift, do a small sections, space bar to move around, hold down shift first, do a small section, hold down space bar, hold down shift, let go of shift after you get the rubber band, do a small section, go around the whole boat. Now, some of my students hate Photoshop. Like, this is stupid that I have to do this much work. Some of my students fall in love with it. Like it's fun to them. This is what Photoshop's about. What Photoshop has been doing last about 10 years is trying to make it easier, because this is literally the amount of work you got to put into your images. And a lot of my students get like, oh my God, you mean this is Photoshop? They thought Photoshop was this magic program that like did cool stuff. I'm like, no, Photoshop's been a pain in the ass forever. You can do cool things, but it's a lot of work. Now that is not part of the boat. Hold on, option. Double click, you can go back to where it began, or double click to finish it off. And I want the marching ants to be exactly around the boat. So look around the whole entire boat and make sure it is absolutely perfect. You'll be graded on this. Does anybody have any issues? Anything that went wrong? Use the microphone. Please do not be shy. I've been teaching Photoshop for many, 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 many years, and it is very easy to miss one little tiny thing that'll screw it up.
I'm just trying to get it to download.
In Schoology, under Photoshop, you'll find kayak.tiff. Click on it till it downloads. Don't drag it.
Okay.
Mr. Rutler,
Yep.
I don't know if you saw my private message, but like I opened the Photoshop and it's telling me that like my account isn't valid.
Log out. Log back in with Google.
All right.
If that doesn't work, email me and I will find out if you have an account, or if there's issues, we'll get you fixed on that. I'm recording today's lesson, so don't like freak out. It'll be fine. Everybody look at my screen. Did I screw up even a little bit? Anyway, did I screw up? It looks pretty good, doesn't it? How many people need more time? Zoom out. Nobody needs more time? Aaron, you do? Okay. Anybody need any help? Want me to cover anything? Want me to show how to do something? Alan, did you get it to download?
It's still downloading the actual Photoshop itself.
It's a big program.
Yeah, it's
I
taking
did say
forever.
that yesterday to download it, didn't I?
Yeah, I was just having troubles with it yesterday even too.
Should have emailed me. I could have helped you.
I know.
Okay. I personally do too. Later on, we are going to be installing Illustrator. Go to McDonald's parking lot, get on their free Wi-Fi, download it there. Or anywhere that, I mean, if you need good Wi-Fi, there are you could probably even get it close to Bayport and get on Bayport's Wi-Fi.
True.
All right, Annalisa, watch my screen. And this is for everybody watch, because this is one of those things that happens a lot. Okay. So one of the things that can happen when you are doing your selections is you can 1, 2, 3 clicks by accident. So if I do 1, 2, 3, I'm starting a new one, everything's gone. Okay. So what you need to do when you make sure you're doing that, again, hold down shift to grab a new line, And then when you're doing your double click, you have to make sure it's only double, 1, 2. I just took Command Z to undo, sorry. Desiree, do you have Photoshop installed?
I do, yes.
Awesome. In Schoology in the Photoshop folder on this week's thing, there is a kayak.tiff file. You need to download that, put it into Illustrator or into Photoshop. All right. Anybody else need any help? I have the chat open. You can use your microphones. You can do a hand raise. Hopefully the hand raise is showing because I'm not seeing anybody hand raise yet. Everybody have a selection around the kayak and it all looks great. Thank you, Kelly. Anybody need more time or help? Again, I am recording this lesson, so if you need to do it later on, you can. All right, next up. Weird thing. You have to be on this tool or this tool, any of these tools, these 3 tools to do this next step. Okay, you cannot be on that one. You can be on any one of these. And it's really kind of weird that you have to be on those tools, but that's just the one reason. Right click. If you do not have right click, control click, but right click. And we are going to do layer via copy. I want to make another copy of this kayak because one kayak is kind of boring. And your marching ants should disappear. Anybody need more time or help?
Can you do that again?
Sure. All right, so I'm in Photoshop. I have the marching ants. I'm on one of these 3 tools. It doesn't matter which one. We're on that one as it is, so it's fine. Right click on the right side of the mouse. Layer via copy. When I do that, marching ants should disappear. Next, the move tool, and this is hard for a lot of my students. They just want to move it all the time. There's literally a tool to move it. So you're going to grab the move tool, and now you should be able to take the kayak and move it around. Yay, you have another kayak. And you should notice if you did a really good job. If you did a really good job, it should look perfect. If you didn't do a good job, things are missing, or you have extra pieces, or it just looks weird, like it doesn't belong there. Next, I told you that we're going to be using window layers. So I want you to find that window. You can make them bigger or smaller by dragging the corner of the window or dragging it out. You can literally take that little tab right here and drag it wherever you want to. Everybody good? I'm going super slow. I know, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure everybody can do this stuff. Again, I'm going to be very picky. I want exactly what I want. It tells me that you understand the tools. Okay. Now you're going to notice this. What layer am I currently on? And everybody see how I turned them off? What layer am I currently on? Background. Kelly says background. Awesome. You need to be on layer 1. It needs to be highlighted, like you're actually clicking on it. It turns this lighter gray. Then I'm going to go to the lines on the top right of that window. So the top right of the window, there are lines. And you are going to duplicate the layer. Please let me know, anybody, if I'm going too fast. I don't get to see your screens. I don't know what you're doing. So please let me know if I'm going too fast. I'm going to duplicate the layer. Hit layer 1 copy for now is fine. The move tool is the top left tool on the toolbar. Move that top kayak, or that you should have one more kayak. Move it around. Everybody have 3 kayaks. This is either going really, really well, or you guys are not telling me things are screwing up. Okay. I want the original. Now you can turn off the 2 kayaks if you're confused. That is the original kayak. I want the 2 kayaks to be below, meaning on the bottom of that kayak, not on top. I want the kayaks. This is hard to show, but maybe I can draw a line. Don't do this. I'm just trying to make this easier for you guys. Well, anyway, here's the shoreline. I want the kayaks to be equal distance. You should probably be seeing purple lines. I'm going to turn my purple lines on. Show smart guides are on. Why didn't take? Why aren't my purple lines showing up? You guys have purple lines? Oh, they're there. You see the purple lines? Yes.
Yeah.
Try to use those to try to make them. Now, I want the kayaks to look like they are equally on the shoreline, like about like what I have. Like the back ends are going to be missing. I want them to be kind of like there's most of the kayak, then there's about half of the back, then there's like no back, and about the same distance between the two. And if you get purple lines to help you, great. I love that. Everybody good?
Yep.
Next, into the layers window where it says layer number 1, double click on that layer number 1. Now that is the middle kayak. I want that middle one to be the green kayak. You can probably imagine what we're going to be doing with this. And I want that bottom one, again, the little eyeball will turn it on and off. I want that bottom one to be the yellow kayak. Just double click on the word. If you get this window to pop up, hit cancel, double click on the word. Everybody good? Anybody need me to slow down? Repeat anything? Go through anything else? Please, if you want to watch this whole thing again, be my guest. But that's stupidly long. It's going to be an hour video. Yay. That's not fun. Please ask now if anything went wrong. All right. On the green kayak layer. Now, this is one of those things that my students get really, really confused by. Again, to make sure that that green kayak layer is on highlighted, that makes no difference. I'm still on the green kayak layer, even though it's not there. So make sure you're highlighting the green kayak layer. Image, the word image, top left of your screen. Adjustments. Hue and saturation. And actually, I should do it. I should start teaching the better way, but whatever. Image, adjustments, hue, saturation. Now, that kayak literally has no color. And you might say, well, it's gray. No, it really has no color. It's not purple. It's not brown. It's not yellow. So I need to click on colorize. Now, as soon as you see it colorized, you will be able to then color it. So if you need to make sure that check mark is on, I want it to be what color? What color should that kayak be? Green. Awesome. Now, do not make a radioactive fluorescent kayak. I do not know how to manufacture them. And you might think that that's funny and cool and silly. Here's the thing. If you want to get paid to do Photoshop, you cannot be silly. People will laugh at you and you'll never get paid. If you want to get paid, okay, then you need to make it look real. Now, the lightness, if you make it light and dark. I want it to be a color of a green color that I can manufacture, that you could see in real life. All right, so play with the saturation, play with the lightness until you feel like it is a color that you would see in real life as a real kayak. Hit okay. I want you to try doing yellow on your own, and in about 1 or 2 minutes, I'll do it again for those people who forgot how to do it. Please put in the chat if you need any assistance, or use your microphone or raise your hand. I think you guys can share your screens with me too, so I can help you. So please, we're all learning, and if it is not working, I want to know why. All right, so I'm on the yellow kayak layer. Image, adjustments, hue, saturation. A number of people will try moving the slider and it doesn't really turn yellow. You need to click colorize. Don't hit colorize. That yellow will not easily show up. Yes, you can do it. Not fun. Again, I want something real, something that looks like it really could be a kayak. Everybody good. Anybody want me to slow down? Hit okay when you're done. Am I really being that awesome that you guys, nobody's having any problems? I'm a little flabbergasted. I've never been that good of a teacher, I guess. Everybody good? Awesome. Okay. Now you'll notice that the kayak looks fake. Everybody see that the kayak looks fake. All right, so the kayak looks fake because it's missing a shadow. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the green kayak, so it's highlighted. I'm gonna go to that little FX button on the bottom of the layers window. There's an FX button, and you're gonna notice that one of the options is a drop shadow. Again, in the layers window, I'm on the green kayak layer. I go to the FX button and I click on drop shadow. Now, under blend mode, make sure it says normal. We're gonna do black is the bottom left color. I just click on the little box there for the bottom left. One of the things that is super hard about this program is that there is a lot of play. And part of it's like just kind of learning how to do it. Okay. Now distance, you see how my shadow's moving away from the angle, I'm moving my shadow around. The opacity is kind of how much I can see through that shadow. The size, again, is kind of giving me that crisp look or the more faded look to it. I want the front of the boat, that shadow that's in the front of the gray boat, to look like that one. So I'm just gonna move this and play with it until basically I get it exactly the way I want it to. Oh, shadow, oh, it's shadow thing, okay. Gray kayak layer in layers window, FX. FX is the bottom of the screen. Go to drop shadow. Again, make sure the blend mode is on normal. The color, you just click on it, click on the bottom left color. It actually should be all zeros if you do it right, but it's hard to get all zeros. Not worried if you don't. Then move it around, move the angle around. Now, if you want to use my numbers, I'm using 56, 105, 73, 7, and 46. If you want to use my numbers, I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying, if I wanted to do the back, I could do the back. I would actually have to break the kayak in half and do a shadow on the back half. That would look different, but I can make it look the same. Nobody's going to care, so I'm not going to worry about it. Hit OK. Now, in the layers window, you're going to notice that there's a drop shadow in there. I could remember all those numbers and try to redo it again. That's super hard. So instead, an easier way, I'm going to right click on the green kayak layer, right click. Then I'm going to go down and find that there's a copy layer style button. Again, I'm on the green kayak layer. I hit OK already. I hit right click, copy layer style. I then go onto the yellow kayak layer, right click, paste layer style. Anybody need help? Everybody have 3 kayaks. 2 are different colors. 2 have shadows. They look real now, relatively real. Kelly's doing good. Anybody else? Anybody want me to slow down, cover anything else?
Can you do the copy layer style and paste again?
Sure. So in the green kayak layer, you'll notice that's down there. You can be here or here, right click, and then you should see copy layer style. And then you go on to the yellow kayak layer, highlight it, right click, paste layer style. Anybody else? Thank you, Lauren, for asking the questions. And anybody else, I do love that. I want everybody to be able to do this stuff. It's so much more fun. We have some text to put on and we'll be done. So hopefully we'll be done in about like 20 minutes. We got a little text to do and then it'll be done. So I'm gonna give you guys one little break to like stand up, move around for a little bit. 2-minute break. Max, what do you want me to do? I'm recording this lesson. I'm gonna put it on YouTube. It'll be there as soon as class is over. Anybody else? Do you guys want to take a little break or no? Keep on, just keep going.
We can take a little break.
Let's take how about we go until 105? We'll take a little break. Let's do this before we do that. File, save as. It is going to ask you if you want to do the cloud or your computer. I do not care. Which one you do? So you want to do save to your computer? Max, on the Photoshop thing, I'm going to have to help you after this. Most important thing is you know where it's downloading to. If you want to make a new folder called Photoshop, I'm going to show you how to do that. Not. Okay. Go to this arrow right here. Then you can do a new, I would actually go to Documents, New Folder. I would do Photoshop. I already have that one. So there's my folder, and then I can put it there. You can just leave it named Kayak, but under Format, where it says Format, this is the right format. Photoshop, the top one. There are so many different Photoshop formats. It's the top one. And I'm going to hit, so Kayak. I am going to do things like 11th. Oh, let's do 11th. Can't spell today. Fall 20. So that I remember, because I have many classes I do this to, that I know which one we're doing. And then I hit OK. I am going to, just give me a second to pause my recording. Resume recording. Okay. So I use the text tool. Don't drag a box. Click once. Wrote that. I explained. I missed my recording. I paused it and I forgot to resume it. Desiree was lucky enough to remember to do that for me. Don't drag boxes. Just click once. Type in the words aqua, capital aqua, excursion with an S. Highlight. Now, highlight in Photoshop. 2 clicks does 1 word. 3 clicks does the whole line. Or highlight all. Next, the top of the screen for Photoshop is going to change whenever you're doing the thing. I want to go to minion, M-I-N, minion, like the, minions. Minion, they changed it, but we'll do a minion variable concept. There was a Minion Pro, but I don't see it. Oh, we're gonna do, let's do bold italics. And otherwise you go over here and you'll see bold italics. So right here is the font, right here is, remember that we don't have a bold button or italicized button. So we are gonna do bold. I don't think display is gonna be any bigger. Nope, it's not. So we are going to do this bold italicized. Next, we're going to go to the box with the black in it. It could be red, it could be blue, it could be any color. To change the color, you just move the slider and you can pick any color you want. However, we don't want to pick any color we want. I want to pick a specific color. What color do you think I should pick?
Red.
Teal.
Well, here's the thing. I'll give you a clue. There are 3 kayaks. There are 3 colors. Those are the only colors I can use. So what color do you think I should use?
White.
White is going to look really good. Okay, now, if I pick white, that is white. However, watch. If you move your mouse off the box, you can literally pick the color of the kayak. And I'm going to pick more towards that white area of the kayak. Until I get a color that looks white, but it still is gray of the kayak. Next too, I'm gonna highlight that. I'm gonna make that at 36 points. I need it a little bit bigger. And I'm gonna use the tab button. And then I'm gonna use the move tool, top left tool. And if I'm going too fast, somebody tell me to slow down. I tend to do stuff fast because I know how to do it all. I want to move my text. You'll notice the purple lines. I want it centered. I don't want it to touch the top. Okay. So you'll see nice little purple lines that will kind of guide you to where you should put it. Give room. Never put your text near the edge, ever. Reason being is if you need to print it, the person cutting the edge might cut off your text. Everybody good? All right, I'm gonna move on. Next up, we are gonna make a new text layer. Now to do a new text layer, one of the little tricks, and it may be better in 2021, but just click off, because sometimes when you do the new text layer, it doesn't want to, it'll want to add on to that one. You'll notice right now, see how mouse change? That means to work on that one, that means to make a new one. I want to make a new one, so don't do that, do this. Again, don't drag a box, click once. This is going to say kayak, capital, all words capital, tours, comma, sales, comma, and service. Now you're going to notice my text went off the page. I can't even really easily highlight it. So remember 1, 2, 3 is going to highlight the whole line. I'm going to make that 18 points. Make sure you do not make any spelling mistakes. I will grade off for those. And if I screw up on spelling, somebody let me know. This aqua excursions, I'm gonna, sorry, we need to make that bigger. So we're gonna do 48 points. And I'm gonna need to move it, which is all good exercises. So again, I'm gonna recenter this thing. So that's centered. And then if I find any purple lines are awesome. Okay. And then the kayak, same thing, center it. Try to make it not touch. Your text should not be in the blue of the water. Should fit nicely without touching any of that stuff, and try to use those purple lines as much as possible. So I made the top text, and this is good practice anyways. If you double click on the T in the layers window, it will highlight the whole thing. I made that 48 points. I made the bottom one 18 points. I use the move tool to center both. Oh no, we got a slow and laggy Photoshop. That means that your computer is actually running a, try to close any other software in the bottom of the screen that you do not need. So if you don't need that or don't need that, try to close as much down as possible. That's what's, something is, even Chrome will take up a lot of, so if you can quit it, because we're working on that, quit that too. Quit Chrome, quit Safari, quit everything if you are having problems with Photoshop being slow. Sorry. All right, everybody good with the text? Anybody need me to slow down? All right, I'm gonna go back to this Aqua Excursions layer, and I'm gonna click the FX button. We already discovered, and I'm trying to show you the coolest features in Photoshop, the things that like are the most used. All right, so we are going to do bevel and emboss. So then I'm on Aqua Excursions layer, and I clicked on the FX button, and I did bevel and emboss. Now, bevel and emboss is weird. You'll see it on my screen. If you do too much, it looks dumb. Like you can't even see it do anything. If you do, it's very small sliders on the size and the depth. Not crazy stuff, especially on the size. You'll see it look weird. I want to look like it's 3D. You see mine looks like nice and cool 3D. So just kind of play with those slides until you get to where it looks the way you want for that 3D-ish look. Next, on the left side, you're also going to see that drop shadow. I'm going to click on drop shadow. If you want to adjust the depth or size of that drop shadow, you need to click down here on the gray area. You can then take off global light, and you can move just that one. If you leave global light on, what will happen is it'll change the shadows down here too. So you have to turn that off. And you can do it however, whatever way looks best to you. So if you want it more crisp, you can have a little bit more fun with that. So I'm just kind of showing you, you can use drop shadows and bevel and emboss on anything. They're pretty neat. Hit okay when you're done. So my Aqua Excursions should look pretty cool now, correct? If you need to edit any of them, just double click. So if I in the layers window, you're going to see the bevel and emboss. If you click on the drop shadow, it'll pop right up the drop shadow one. You can just edit it. So if you don't like it later on, it's really neat. They're all right here. You just double click on anything to change it. Again, if you need to change the text, double click on the text. Really easy to change that one or change that one. That's probably the easiest ways to change it is in the layers window. We have 2 more things to put on for text, and then we'll be done for the day, and we'll make our assignment. How are we doing? Kelly, thank you for commenting. Everybody else, are we good? Can I keep going? We got like 3 people. I hope there's more than 3 that are getting this done. I know Kelly and Lauren and Marion are doing awesome, but I don't know the rest of you guys. Yeah, Max can't. Okay. I just closed. How did I do that? Oh, there they are. How did I do that? I don't want to do that. Oh well, nobody's on the camera anyways. All right, so we're gonna move on. We have 2 more things to do. So we're gonna grab the text tool. Again, on this, I would highlight off just to make sure. Again, if you're doing text tool, do not have it next to the text somewhere else. Click once. I'm going to type in capital up, not in the chat. Capital up 2. Hit the enter or return button to do a second line. And we're gonna do 30% with the percent sign and capital off. Now my text is way too big. So again, I can just highlight that, or 1, 2, 3 is gonna do a line. 1, 2, 3, 4 is gonna do the whole thing. So I just keep clicking until it highlights all of them. We're gonna change that down to a 30-point font. And right now I'm on the left side of the screen. Everybody see that? So I'm again gonna highlight all of it just to make sure it's highlighted. I want to go to the right side of the screen. I'm gonna go to the right alignment button, and that's gonna line it up on the right side. And what's gonna be really neat here is that's gonna fit really nicely where that gray kayak is gonna be pointing right to my sale price. I love that. Now, do I really want to put white text next to a white kayak?
No.
So what other color can I do?
You can do green or yellow.
Which one should I do? What would stand out better for a sale price?
Yellow.
Green.
If I do the green, you're kind of right, but you notice it kind of blends in the background. So I personally think the yellow turns out, it just kind of stands out a little better. And that's what we really want our customer to see, yes? So I'm gonna do the yellow. And again, you notice that I didn't pick it in here. I moved my little mouse past, so if you didn't see what I did, I highlighted the text, I went up to the little box, I clicked on the box, but I didn't click in here. I went to the kayak and I picked the kayak. Now, one of the things about graphics, you want to have a reason for something. I don't want to just pick something because it's fun. I don't want to pick red just because I like red. I want to pick something because it matches my design. Okay, so if you did do a red kayak, then you could use red. But again, just trying to pick colors that you naturally have in your design, and don't pick a million colors. Like stick to 2 or 3 or 4 colors. Don't go crazy. Okay, I'm going to do one more text and we're done. What else do we need for our ad for our company? We have the company name, we have what they do, and we have that it's a sale. What else do we need?
A reason for the sale.
Well, how is my customer going to know where this place is, or how to contact it, or where to go?
You gotta have an address.
Right, we gotta have an
Okay.
address. So we're gonna do the last thing on the bottom. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna be really, really original and use 2710 Lineville Road, which is of course what?
For high school.
Yeah, Bayport High School. I'm really creative. Sorry. Ride. Lineville. Let's put Lineville. And then I'll put Green Bay, and that'll probably be enough for that line. I'm going to, of course, make that really super small. And that's going to go move tools, top left tool to move it around. You'll get used to it. And if you want a second line, we can put the phone number. So I'm going to put 920 662 7000, which is the main line for Bayport, because again, I'm super original. If you want to put a Wisconsin and I don't know, we want to be correct. So Lineville Road, Green Bay, comma. Okay. Now, if you want to use the right side alignment, great. If you want to, if center looks better to you, there's nothing wrong with that. Big thing on here is do not let your text touch the sides, the bottom, or the boat. So play with the size, but make sure, and also too, doesn't the yellow next to the yellow kayak look kind of tacky? And some people, a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't make it green, but to me, the green looks really hard to read. So I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go back to the white. And even if you wanted to, if you had a hard time reading it, you could even add a drop shadow to it. But again, make sure that there is some space between the kayak and the words. Make sure there's some space over here. Do not have any of it touching. If you have to even move a boat around, I'd rather move the boat around and have room for your text. Others just make it small enough to read. You know, if they had a website, we put a website on there. If you wanted to do all that, that'd be great too. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having more text on there. But how does it look? Do we look pretty professional? I mean, could you possibly see this in a magazine ad or even a flyer that would go into people's houses? Could you see that being something you'd look at, like a postcard kind of thing? Awesome. So you guys are all saying yes. So I mean, I think it looks pretty. It looks way better than just one kayak, though. I mean, how would you like to put just one kayak out there? We have three. We have three kayaks, which 3 is a magic number in graphics and photography. We made our heading really big and centered it. We made some alternative text, kind of used some of the text tools. I had a little fun with it, but I used most of the page, and that's the real key. Like trying to fill up the whole page so it doesn't look like all of the stuff is on one side. Now, I already saved it. If you did not save it, file, save as. Again, I'm saving to computer. If you want to use cloud documents, great. I'm not with you guys leaving and not having the cloud later on. I would not personally, but you can do whatever you choose. When you're saving, pay attention to where it's saving to. If you do not have a Photoshop folder, you can click on documents, hit a new folder. Just to show you a little trick, because a lot of you don't know how to use a Mac, you can take that Photoshop folder that's right here and drag it right into that sidebar. That way in Finder, you'll watch this. If I do it right here, now if I go to Finder, you'll see I have a Photoshop folder over there. Kind of cool. Make sure you save one copy as a Photoshop folder. I'm replacing it, of course, because I've already made that one. And then we're going to do one more thing. Oh, this maximum compatibility just means right now we're using Photoshop 2021. If I don't check mark this, I can only open it up in Photoshop 2021. You won't be able to Photoshop in 20 or below. So leave that on there. Next. And Kelly's already giving me this, the next thing. No, I want Photoshop right now. Next. File, save as, save to your computer. And TIFF is a older file format. Nobody usually uses it anymore. It's good to know. It's good that we, discovered it. It stands for tagged image file format. Nobody uses it. I used to use it. It's great. It's kind of like the PNG, only better. So I'd rather use PNG. PNG is better than TIFF and better than JPEG. Not as quite as good as Photoshop. My customer does not have Photoshop. If they do, there's no reason why they're hiring me. So I'm going to send them a JPEG. Everybody pick JPEG. You can leave it the same name. Hit save. Do not pass this window. Command plus to zoom in. Move the slider all the way to the left. Have you ever seen an image on the internet look like that before? Turn on microphones, or I'd love if you guys could talk for this part. Have you ever seen an image on the internet look like this before?
Yes.
Why? You guys you can play like the coolest games online. You can watch movies in like 4K online. You can do Netflix and all these other things. Why, oh, why do you still see garbage like this on the internet? I'll tell you why. If I do a lot of work, do I want to put my good quality artwork, my good quality time, do I want to give the internet the most awesome copy in the world?
No.
So I can really simply, not even, I don't have to even go that, I mean, that's crazy. But even if I do this, that is enough for my customer to see it and they still have to pay me for the high quality file. Does that make sense? I mean, that still looks good for the customer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now I just want to understand this. For me, always do 10 and above, but literally you can protect your own work. Like I can give myself some leeway to put it on the internet without having to worry about my customer just stealing it from me and never paying me. So hopefully you guys are seeing some of that stuff. I always do mine at 12. That's a 1 megabyte file. That's tiny. That is the file you are going to turn in to Schoology. This will not be due until next week because of the whole Photoshop problems. But in the Photoshop folder, there should be a finished Kayak. You are going to go in there and then submit the JPEG. Okay, and I cannot stress this enough. If you turn in the Photoshop, I will not grade it. It needs to be the JPEG file. Any questions before? That's it for the day.